Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints Video channel for Southampton content for our match preview and predicted lineup for yet another home game against Arsenal, this time in the Premier League as we host them for the second time within the space of 4 days. A tougher test I think this one's going to be, and we'll get on to why later on in the video. But before we get into it, do make sure you've hit the subscribe button with your notifications turned on. We are almost at 3,000 subscribers, so if we could get there sooner rather than later, it'd be massively appreciated. Follow us on our socials as well, and as always, this video is kindly sponsored by the guys over at PitchSport, so make sure you've checked out their app if you haven't yet already. Link is in the description. Right, let's get into it. There was an impressive performance in the FA Cup game against Arsenal on Saturday from Saints, particularly in the first half going into that 1-0 lead, but we created chances and dominated the ball. Second half was a little bit more nervy. They brought in some substitutes to try and go and get the equaliser, maybe even go and win the tie itself, and keep themselves in the competition. They have a proud history in the FA Cup, but defensively we were superb once again, and I was impressed. I was impressed that Ralph opted for a strong lineup. He's taking the cup seriously. A few weeks ago, I was a little bit concerned with what our potential fixture list could look like and how congested it could all look with a thin squad. But to be honest, if Ralph's going for the cup, I'm all for that. And as I said just then, we were defensively sound yet again, and we have been, for a month now. Not saying that we haven't been all season, but particularly the last couple of weeks, month or so, 5 clean sheets in 6 games. That's a really impressive record. Particularly without Yannick Vestergaard, Jack Stephens has done really well coming in. And, when Fraser Forster has been playing in the cup, and obviously that Liverpool game as well, he's kept 3 clean sheets in 3 games, fair play to him. But of course, this is the Premier League. Attention's turned back to the league campaign as we chase, I guess, a Europa place now, really. I think now that this is our last game of the first half of the league season, if you like. It's an achievement being here at this stage of the season in itself, but I think we can be going, for it come the end of the season. But if we are to do that, we've got to be winning games like this. We're currently in 10th. 1 place and 2 points above Arsenal while still having a game in hand. So we could create a 5-point gap if we win the game, as well as maybe pushing that to 8 points whenever we play our game in hand. I think it's Leeds away, isn't it? So whenever we play that. So great opportunity to create some distance between ourselves and Arsenal. But of course, they'll go above us if they win the game. So for me, I think a draw would be a decent enough result. But of course, you want to win every game. And if we win this one, it gives us a great opportunity to go on. We go back into 8th and we're knocking on the door of Europe again. Now, in terms of team news, we can welcome back Nathan Redmond after a bit of time out. But Kyle Walker-Peters unfortunately picked up an injury in training, meaning that he's going to be a doubt for this one. Meaning without both first-choice fullbacks, with Ryan Bertrand suspended after picking up his 5th yellow card of the season against Leicester. So, what does that mean? For those positions, we'll obviously talk about in the predicted lineup, but you can't help but think it's going to be, Jake Vokins and Jan Valery, and we're going to be quite exposed at the back potentially. But on to Arsenal, it's not too different from what we spoke about in the FA Cup preview, in that they've obviously picked up a lot since our meeting at the Emirates back in December. 13 points from a possible 18. This is going to be a completely different Arsenal team as well to the one that we played on Saturday. The strongest starting lineup, Mikel Arteta didn't really go for it, which I was really surprised about on Saturday. But, the likes of Partey, Tierney, Saka, maybe even Aubameyang if he's available, they could all be starting, and I expect them to start. So it's going to be a more difficult game. They've picked up with the likes of Saka, like, as I just mentioned, even Emile Smith-Rowe, impressing as well. Some of the youngsters have come in and really stepped up, and, they've been paramount to this upturn in Arsenal's form. So, yeah, it's no different to what we were talking about ahead of the FA Cup game. They're on an upturn in form, and hopefully, beating them on Saturday will put a little bit of a dent in their confidence. But it could also, motivate them, make them want to come and win this game even more to kind of make up for their loss on Saturday. But onto the predicted lineup, I think it's going to be a little bit different, but virtually, I think with the players available right now, it's going to be pretty similar to what we started on Saturday. So in goal, I think it's be Alex McCarthy. Fraser Forster's the cup keeper. I think Alex McCarthy is going to keep his place in the league. There's absolutely no reason why he wouldn't. Jan Valery at right back are just like for like, really, with Walker-Peters out. He's come into the side and had a few, all right performances. He came off the bench against Liverpool and looked good, but he plays sort of like a right mid almost, and played against Shrewsbury. He had a decent enough game, of course, against the League One opposition. But you can't help but feel like at the moment going forwards, he's better than defensively. So we'll obviously have to see how he does against a good Arsenal team. I think Jack Stevens and Jan Bednarek in the middle, no doubt about that. And then at left back, I think we're going to have to see Jake Vokins take Bertrand's spot. At times we've seen Stevens play left back before, and then another centre back slots in, but I don't really know how we're going to do that with Vestergaard still out. So I think, yeah, after Vokins had full 90 minutes against Shrewsbury, there's absolutely no reason why we wouldn't play him now. I think he has to be the second choice left back. And in the middle of the park, no changes. I think we're going to see Ibrahima Diallo and James Ward-Prowse in the middle, starting to form a really nice partnership. Of course, Romeu is soon to be back, which is obviously a big boost. But Diallo, I'm really starting to take a shine to him again against Arsenal. He was superb, massive presence in the middle of the park, great recoveries, particularly that one against Pepe. He's been magnificent since coming in, so fair play to him. And then I think we're going to see Stuart Armstrong and Walcott on the wings. And then Ings and Adams up front. I think, like I said, very similar to the Cup side, just with a few injuries and suspensions. So overall, I'm not as confident for this one. Obviously, because Arsenal are going to play a stronger side, but I think we can compete, and I think it's vital that we come away with something. So I think this is a slightly optimistic prediction, but I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think we're going to come away with something here. I don't know. It just feels like maybe because we dented a bit of Arsenal's confidence on Saturday, that might help us. The games come around so quickly. We'll have to see, but I think it's really important that we pick up something. So if you have enjoyed the video, let me know in the comment section below, and also give it a like. Subscribe if you haven't yet already. Follow us on our socials, and we'll see you after the game for a match review, hopefully after 3 big points. See you then, guys.